Hey guys, it's John and Wrestling Talking Shop, and welcome back to the channel. We're going to do Today in Wrestling History for June the 28th. On this day in 1986, Sherry Martel defeated Candy Devine for the AWA Women's Champion at a Battle of the Bay in Oakland, California. In the main event, Kurt Hennig and Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty defeated Alex Smirnoff, Buddy Rogers, and Doug Summers in a six-man tag main event. On this day in 1997, The Undertaker retained the WWF Championship against Bret the Hitman Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin at a WWF house show in California. On this day in 1997, Chris Jericho defeated Syxx for the WCW Cruiserweight Champion on WCW Saturday Night. On this day in 1997, in the ECW Orgy of Violence from Philadelphia, Rob Van Dam and Sabu defeated the Sandman and Tommy Dreamer in a tag team match. The Dudleys retained the ECW tag team titles against Mustafa and New Jack, and Taz retained the ECW World Television Champion. On this day in 1998, the WWE's King of the Ring pay-per-view, probably one of the craziest wrestling matches I've ever seen. It was a Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and Mankind, and I still don't understand how Mankind even made it out of this match alive. He was thrown off the cage not once but twice off the Hell in a Cell, and then come out in the main event and got involved in the main event. The main event was between Kane and Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was a first blood match, and then but it's this craziest thing. I don't know how. I know that took years off of Mick Foley's life, and it had one of the greatest calls of from Jim Ross you ever seen. It, "Oh my God, they've killed him! As God is my witness, they have broken him in half." I always remember that from Jim Ross. But on this day in 1999, the day after the King of the Ring pay-per-view took place, Stone Cold defeated The Undertaker to win the WWF World Championship for the fourth time on WWE Raw from Charlotte, North Carolina. With a 9.5 TV rating, this match is the most watched wrestling match in the history of cable television. On this day in 2001, in the main event of OVW Last Dance from Louisville, Kentucky, Kane and The Undertaker made an extremely rare appearance for WWE's developmental organization and picked up a disqualification win over Diamond Dallas Page and Batista. In the main event, Flash Flanagan retained the OVW World title against Chris Jericho. On this day in 2003 at ROH WrestleWave from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Samoa Joe retained the ROH World Heavyweight Champion against Dan Maff, and AJ Styles retained the NWA World Champion over Chris Sabin. Let's see, you got to scroll down here. On this day in 2012, Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian defeated AJ Styles and Kurt Angle for the TNA World Tag Team titles at an Impact taping in Orlando, Florida. On this day in 2013, Matt Bourne, the second generation wrestler of Tony Bourne, passed away. He was also most notably known for playing Doink the Clown in WWF, but he had a long career. He wrestled all through the independents and whatnot, and he was also on the very first WrestleMania. He was a young man. He passed away at 55. On this day in 2015, Jeff Jarrett defeated Bobby Roode, Drew Gallo, and Eric Young and Matt Hardy to win the five-way King of the Mountain match. And on this day in 2019, Matt Taven retained the ROH World Heavyweight Champion against Jeff Cobb in the main event of ROH Best in the World in Baltimore, Maryland. And that's going to wrap up Today in Wrestling History, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.